Hey everybody, so today it's going to be a video on what I did to clean and service my Peopoly Phenom. I recorded two parts on cleaning the linear rails and also lubing the linear rails. I didn't set out to make a full-length video, so the two videos I did record are a bit disjointed, so I'm just gonna play it on my screen, and I might pause it in certain parts and just to elaborate further. So the first part is cleaning the linear rails. So to service your phenom, it's probably best if you put it on its back on the side, rather than having it just sitting straight. It just makes it easier to get to get to things. So currently, what you see on my screen is the phenom is sitting on a table, down on the floor, and I'm looking at it from top down. So I'm just gonna play the video on cleaning the linear rails. Alright guys, so I'm doing maintenance on my Peopoly Phenom today, and I just want to show you guys how dirty the machine can get. So I'm cleaning the rails, and this is the side of the rails that I want to show you how grubby it is. Now you can't see it from the front, but I've just got some cotton buds with a little bit of cleaning fluid on them. I'm just gonna swipe the side here. So it's important to note that each rail has two sides where the ball bearings slide on. I only show the cleaning of one side here, but just make sure you clean all four sides of the rails. So if I take a screenshot and just show you where those points are, and the thing is, you can't actually see them looking at your phenom front on normally. So these rails they're like little tracks, basically, your ball bearings run on. So tiny little divots and tracks. And these will build up dirt and grime, and you will notice over time, if you don't clean it and lubricate it, that your prints start getting worse and worse. So it's definitely something to check, and I'm just gonna play the video. Show you how grubby that is. Look at that. Disgusting. So I actually spent quite a lot of time cleaning those because I never cleaned those, and I've had my phenom for probably about two plus years now. And usually I sort of just give it a quick wipe, but I've never really gone through and looked at it and then done a proper clean. And what I found was that there's actually chunks of cured resin or dirt, whatever, built up along the rails, and they were actually quite hard to remove. It wasn't just dirt; it was chunks. So what I ended up using was acetone on my cotton buds, and also acetone on like a tissue paper, and then I made sure all the rail guides were clean and free of debris. Now, as I'm swiping along, I can feel bumps. Right, where dirt and resin, whatever, has settled along here. Look at that. And you can imagine the rails going up and down and getting trapped, getting stuck on these bumps. So again, if you're going to be using acetone to clean your rails, it's fine. Acetone's not going to do anything to the metal rails, but be careful you don't get any acetone on your screen or plastic parts. So acetone will eat through plastic parts, and if you especially get anything on your screen that has that plastic cover on it, then that's going to eat through it. So that's one of the reasons why when you're doing maintenance, you should put the phenom on the side, so you're looking at it from top down, just so your screen doesn't get lube or acetone spray on it. Uh, yeah,
And that's not going to give you a great print. That really isn't going to give you a great print.
and so obviously that print head is all the way down in the home position. So after you clean this bit, you want to move the print head up or down, so you clean the other areas that's been covered by the print head at the moment. So clean the areas that are exposed, and then move your print head up using the normal interface, and then clean the other areas that you couldn't get to.
So you're going to get layer lines and miss layers. So that's definitely something you want to check, because as I'm swiping along with the cotton buds, I can feel little bumps. Right, I've done that side already. So you want to clean it so your rails, so linear rails on both sides, are running nice and smooth, and the ball bearings aren't getting jammed. So definitely check that. You can sample these grubby rails.
Yeah, so they were really grubby. I was really surprised, and just to let you know that after my maintenance and service, I did a test print, and the printer is basically running perfect, brand new again. So this is something that I would definitely recommend you to do every year at least. Um, and even if this is the only thing that you do to maintain your phenom, then that's gonna help a lot. Now the other two steps that I did during my maintenance was to clean the linear rod, which is the main Z rod going up and down that carries your print head. And I didn't record a video on cleaning the Z rod, unfortunately, but I did follow a YouTube video to clean that, which is this one here. So if you just go to YouTube and then go to 3D printer lead screw cleaning, and basically what this guy does is that he uses a twine or dental floss, and he just wraps it around the lead screw, and then he basically just runs the head up and down, and while holding the twine, and what that does is it basically cleans the inner threads, and for the outer threads you would still need to use like a paper towel, and then just hold it over it while moving your plate up and down, and that's gonna clean everything. So I'm just gonna quickly play this video, but I would recommend just watching the full thing. But I think you'll get the idea.
So here's my half-width twine, and this is what I'll do. I'll just loop it around the thread like this.
Now you don't need to take the thread out or anything like that out of your printer. Leaving it in there is fine, and then just wrapping your thread around the linear rail and then running the rotation. What I did do was I sprayed DW40 on the screws, and then on the lead screw, and then let that sit for 30 seconds before I cleaned it. And what that does is it just helps loosen any dirt that's built up on there. If you find that it's like the dirt, you can't remove it even with DW40 and using just a normal thread, what you can do is just soak your thread in acetone again, and then doing that same procedure, but using acetone on the thread itself, and that should clean your thread properly. you may need to do it a couple times. So run the thread up and down, and obviously the thread will get dirty. So just use a different position each time, but you will eventually clean it. And yeah, I'll keep playing the video.
Hold it like this with your two fingers. Do not wrap the thread around your fingers, otherwise you may seriously hurt yourself.
So yeah, they just be careful when you're using the thread. Is don't get your fingers jammed in the plate, the print head.
Make sure you just hold the thread on your fingers like this, and with your other hand, just run the drill, just like this.
So instead of running the drill, you're just going to turn on the printer and move the Z-axis up and down manually.
Just go
And what you should find is the thread will just go down with the print head.
up and down the threads as the screw action is working. Again, do not wrap the twine around your fingers. You seriously hurt yourself if you do. The twine gets caught by something in the screw. Yeah, you don't want that. So make sure you just hold it in between your fingers like this, just pinch it. Again, just run it back and forth. So what I did when I actually cleaned this was I actually started all the way at the one end. I started at the one end of the screw, like that, and I just ran the drill in the direction, the one direction, all the way up to the chuck. Then I just reversed direction and ran it backwards.
Yep, so that's how you clean the lead screw properly, is basically just using a twine wrapped around the lead screw and then running it up and down. And if you need to spray DW40 or use acetone if you've got even dirtier screw, do that. But make sure you re-lube the screw afterwards. So it's important that you relubricate the screw with your PDFE spray or any sort of, not white glycerin, white something lubricant. I can't remember the word now. Lithium, right? White lithium grease. Yeah, so after you've cleaned it, just make sure you re-lube it because it's going to be, basically super clean afterwards. Okay, and again, be careful about using acetone. And so the last thing that I did was then I re-lubed, obviously the lead screw, and also I re-lubed the sides of the rails, the linear rails, and the last thing I did was lubricate the linear rails ball bearings. So I did record a video on specifically the Phenom and where to find the oil caps. So on the lead screws themselves, they run on ball bearings, and there is a little cap, silver cap that you need to take off, and that's where you would inject your grease or PDFE spray. So let's watch the video on that.
So, part of my maintenance again on the Peopoly Phenom is I want to just check the grease oil on the bearings on the linear rails, and on the rails themselves you'll find on the top, this is the top, there is a nut like this, silver nut that goes on top, and you just need to remove it and then put your grease.
Now, I made it sound simple, but removing those nuts were a pain in the butt. They were really hard to get to, and I didn't have a spanner that size. So I ended up just using a set of pliers and just trying to twist it to unlock it. So yeah, it takes a little bit of fiddling around, and again, that's why I recommend you putting the Phenom on its side, on the back. That way, if you drop the screw, it's not gonna fall on your screen or get hidden. So yeah, take your time removing those little oil caps and then putting them on. Good luck. it takes a little bit of patience to put them back on as well. But you know, you will get there eventually.
Or PDF lubricant in there, and that is the grease hole. There's also one in the back, although I'm not sure if that actually does anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it does anything. I think that's but I did also put grease in there as well. So when you spray into those holes, you should see the grease or PDFE spray come out on the sides of the rails. And when I sprayed it on the top one with the silver cap, I did see it, but not on the bottom one. So
But definitely the one in the front there, on both your rails, there. You want to remove the silver cap and then put your lubricant in there. Now when you're doing it back up, just make sure you don't do it up too tight.
So what I meant is that when you spray your PDFE spray in here, lubricant in the hole, okay, when the oil goes in here, and usually if you have like a little tube that attaches to the head of your spray, you can push it in quite a fair bit. So when you spray it in there, you want to spray enough so that excess comes out. You'll start seeing, you know, oil come out from the cracks from within there, and that means that your lubricant has gone through the system and then it's come back out. So don't, you know, you need to use quite a fair bit, and of course any excess you can clean it up with a towel, but you can also flush it out with DW40 first and then do your lubricant as well if you've got an old printer. But if it's a fairly new printer and you're just doing and it's not too dirty, you're just doing service on it, then yeah, you can just spray your oil in there, and then it should come out along the sides and just clean up anything afterwards. So so that's it really for the maintenance that I did. The other things, you know, obviously clean everything else, and then make sure, you know, all your rails are clean. And that's about it really. After servicing, I would recommend that you re-level as well. That's just as part of the servicing that I like to do, is just re-level everything. And yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know. But pretty straightforward stuff, and I think yeah, it's gonna, you know, increase the quality of your prints if you've had your printer for quite some time. Good luck.